This is your weekly Catholic Catchup. Here's today's headlines. This week, we bring you significant news from the Vatican as Pope Francis returns to the Vatican after 38 days in hospital, continuing to inspire hope and prayer worldwide. Cardinal Claudio Gucciarati has issued a heartfelt appeal for urgent support for Christians in the Holy Land, urging the faithful to prioritise aid for those suffering amidst ongoing conflict. Meanwhile, Scotland's bishops are showing their full support for SCIAF's We Box appeal, which aims to provide crucial assistance to those in need. In Scotland, Archbishop Leo Cushley has met with MSPs to highlight the dangers of legalising assisted dying, particularly for the vulnerable ahead of a critical vote on the bill. And finally, a thrilling Caritas Cup final had fans on the edge of their seats with a dramatic comeback, showcasing not just football, but faith and community spirit. I'm Katie Nelson, bringing you all the latest updates from around the Catholic world. After 38 days of hospitalisation, Pope Francis returned to the Vatican, marking the end of a difficult battle with bilateral pneumonia. At 88 years old, the Holy Father faced serious health challenges, but throughout his illness, he was uplifted by an outpouring of prayers from Catholics, Christians, and people from all over the world. During his recovery, Pope Francis continued to reach out, offering words of gratitude and spiritual reflection. Just last week, he was seen praying at the hospital chapel. This was a powerful moment for the faithful worldwide. In his final message before leaving the hospital, the Pope reminded us of the fragility of life, the value of suffering as a witness to faith, and the urgent need for peace in a world burdened by conflict. The Catholic community welcomes him home, praying for his continued strength and healing. SCIAF is the official relief and development agency of the Catholic Church in Scotland. Compelled by Christ's love, it works with those in the world's poorest places to end poverty, protect our common home, and help people recover from disaster. Representatives from SCIAF visited the bishops as they gathered for their regular conference at the Schoenstatt Religious Retreat and Pilgrimage Centre. Chief Executive Lorraine Curry said, "We are so grateful to the bishops of Scotland and the Catholics across the country for their support already this Lent. People in Scotland are just so generous, and I am constantly overwhelmed to meet with supporters and hear about what they are doing to remember their poorest brothers and sisters around the world through SCIAF. SCIAF Sunday is just around the corner, and we hope that with the help of our bishops, we can reach as many people as possible with our message of hope, dignity and love. A better world really is possible." Bishop Brian McGee is SCIAF's Bishop President. He said, "For 60 years, SCIAF has been serving and empowering the poorest of the poor across the entire world. In India, Ethiopia and Zambia, I have personally witnessed and marvelled at the difference SCIAF makes to our vulnerable sisters and brothers. Let us continue this incredible work through supporting SCIAF." On Wednesday at the Scottish Parliament, Archbishop Leo Cushley met with MSPs to highlight the dangers of legalising assisted suicide, warning that the most vulnerable could be put at risk. With a vote on the assisted dying bill expected this spring, the Archbishop spoke with representatives from Scotland's 3 largest parties, urging them to consider the real-life consequences seen in other countries. All 129 MSPs are being given a special scroll detailing cases where assisted dying has led to tragic outcomes, including a Canadian cancer patient offered assisted death before successful surgery, a physically healthy Dutch woman euthanised for mental health struggles, and an Australian man who chose assisted death after waiting months for home care. Archbishop Cushley stressed that while choice is an important consideration, history shows that it is the weakest in our society who suffer the most. Labour MSP Mark Griffin echoed those concerns, warning that what is presented as a choice could become an obligation for those who feel like a burden. He stated, "There are no safeguards strong enough to protect the most vulnerable in society. This bill will put them at risk." With debate on the bill continuing, the voices of religious leaders, politicians and campaigners on both sides of the argument will be critical in shaping the future of assisted dying in Scotland. Cardinal Claudio Gucciarati has issued a heartfelt appeal for this year's Good Friday collection, emphasising the urgent need to support Christians in the Holy Land, who continue to suffer due to ongoing violence and conflict. In a letter to bishops, the prefect of the dicastery for the Eastern churches described the weeping, despair and destruction that have gripped the region. He warned against treating the Holy Land as private property, insisting that the land belongs to the people. He also stressed that while dialogue is difficult, it is the only way to save lives. The Cardinal highlighted the devastating impact of war in Gaza, the West Bank, Syria and Lebanon, as well as conflicts in Ukraine and other parts of the world. Due to the urgent need for emergency assistance, many planned aid projects in the Holy Land have been downsized, delayed, suspended or cancelled. The Cardinal described the suffering as inhumane and called the Good Friday collection the backbone of aid for the Holy Land, urging Catholics worldwide to prioritise it. He also warned of a growing exodus of Christians, saying we cannot abandon the lands that still carry the fragrance of Jesus. Pilgrimages too have been severely impacted, making it even more important for Catholics to show solidarity with those suffering injustice. Despite these challenges, Cardinal Guglielmotti remains hopeful, stating, "We stubbornly believe in the prophecy of a better world, but we must also do everything we can to bring it about." Football, faith and fierce competition came together last week at Broadwood Stadium in Cumbernauld for the Caritas Cup final, an event that continues to unite young Catholics through sport. Founded by former St Margaret's High School students Adam, Aidan, Bailey and Daniel, the Caritas Cup isn't just about football and netball. It's a tournament with a purpose, raising funds for SCIAF and other important causes, while bringing schools together in the spirit of faith and friendship. One of the standout moments of the competition was the thrilling Caritas Cup final, where St Andrews and St Bride's High School mounted a dramatic comeback to defeat Cardinal Newman 2-1 in a match filled with tension, skill and unforgettable moments. Aspiring sports journalist Josh Logan from St Andrews and St Bride's summed up the final perfectly in his match report, writing, "It was a match that showcased the true spirit of football, with St Andrews and St Bride's never giving up and proving that games are not won until the final whistle. For Cardinal Newman, it was heartbreak, but they should hold their heads high for a valiant effort. The Caritas Cup will be remembered as one of the most thrilling finals in recent history. An incredible tournament, a worthy cause, and a final that will be talked about for years to come."